I never thought I'd be so passionate about nutrition until I started diving deep into it. If you've been thinking about getting certified or just want to know what it's like to take the ISSA Nutrition course, today I'm sharing my honest experience, why I signed up, what I've learned, the challenges, and what's next for me. Hi, I'm Miles, certified nutritionist and the owner of NeuroGoods. If you're into wellness, self-growth, or nutrition, starting a health journey of your own maybe, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Now, let's get into it. Start with the why. I've always been interested in wellness, helping people live healthier lives, but I knew I needed a deeper understanding of nutrition if I wanted to support others in a meaningful, ethical, trauma-informed, evidence-based way. I chose ISSA because it's flexible, self-paced, well-recognized, plus it aligned with my goals as a future coach and wellness entrepreneur. I also knew I eventually wanted to create nutrition-focused content and products, so getting certified felt like the right next step. Honestly, I was just looking for continuing credits for my yoga course, which I still have not finished. Anywho, and I came across ISSA, and I was like, well, I don't know about being a personal trainer. Changed my mind on that now. I think I'm gonna go for it, but not the point of this video. And then I came across the nutrition course that ISSA, the Institute of Science and Sports Association, I believe, they offered the nutrition course, and they did a payment plan, and I finished the course in a solid 24 hours. It was so invigorating and just deep rooted in knowledge and evidence and holistic practice, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's move on to part 2. What the course is like. So let's talk about what the course actually looks like. It's broken down into modules. I believe there's 10 modules with 18 chapters. Covers everything from macro and micronutrients, digestion, metabolism, special populations, and even the psychology of eating. We talked a lot about goals and SMART goals. You know, specific, measurable, attainable. I don't remember what not reliable. I don't know. I'll put them up here on the screen. Anyways, we talked a lot about those goals and just the psychology behind the steps of changing your life, basically. You know, we start at not really ready to recognize, and then ready to recognize, and then ready to make a change, and actively making a change, and it just goes on from there. I love that it includes real-world applications like client case studies and how to create meal plans, and while as a certified nutritionist, I cannot prescribe meal plans, that's left to a registered dietitian, which I hope to be by 28. I'm 23 now, so we'll see. You know, it's still really helpful to be able to have that knowledge and give like a meal guide rather than a meal plan, since that is in my scope of practice. It's very accessible for your beginners, but still dives deep enough that I'm learning so much more than what I share on social media. I mean, so much more. You know, I've seen quite a few people on TikTok that are nutritionists say, oh, your body can't take more than 30 grams of protein in one sitting. Wrong. I have a protein powder, Body Fortress, I believe, the vanilla flavor. You will see that included in my cookbook that is coming up soon. But that has 60 grams of protein. 30 grams of protein in one sitting, yes, that will go towards muscles, and the rest will be stored for energy, and the rest will be used for fat. And fat isn't a bad thing. Having body fat is not a bad thing, but we'll talk about that in other videos. I will actually insert a little clip of me actually finding out that I passed. So exciting. I love looking at that clip. Anyways, moving on to part 3. So these are my personal takeaways, some of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had since starting this course, because I have had a lot. It has affected how I eat personally, how I cook for my fiance, even how I cook at work in the group home, and what I make for the guys to eat. Number 1, nutrition isn't just about calories or weight loss. It's about supporting the whole person, mind, body, lifestyle, because not everybody can sit down and, you know, bang out 200 grams of protein in a day. That's just not what everybody does. I specialize in working with people who, like me, live in a bus or live in a van, live in a car, are homeless, have food stamps, low food budget, anything in between, or a combination of those. So I really understand that lifestyle has a lot to do with what you can and cannot eat. There's no one size fits all diet. Understanding bio individuality has been huge for me. Obviously, I understood that everybody has different metabolisms and, different diets work for different people. There are people with diabetes that need a lot of sugar or no sugar, and there are people who just can't cut sugar out. Like for me, I have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardic syndrome, so I require a lot more sodium than the average person just to keep my equilibrium in check, I guess. I get what's it called? Vertigo very easily. Not fun. I actually had it yesterday. It was a pain. Last one, I've also learned how to read between the lines when it comes to nutrition trends, marketing claims, and so-called wellness hacks. There are a lot of people out on TikTok and YouTube selling you courses, and yes, while I have a course, I'm not going to throw out a bunch of random stuff just for y'all to believe and sign up for my course like there's something wrong with you. I want people to come to me because they are truly ready to change, their physical lifestyle and their nutritional lifestyle. So definitely do your due diligence. I will never give out anything that's not evidence or fact-based by usually a university, a scientist, a registered dietitian, anything like that. Yeah, I'm not in the business of having you guys spend however much on my course, whichever one you choose to do, which I'll talk a little bit more about in the end of the video. Yeah, I'm not just gonna throw out bullshit information for y'all to, fall into the marketing scheme of buy my course, because I am still at the end of the day a coach. I'm a specialist in nutrition. I am not necessarily a healthcare provider, but I'm a nutrition coach. I am here to coach you and not in a lifestyle coach typical kind of way, you know what I mean? Part 4, challenges and wins. I need to stop hitting the table, sorry y'all. Anyway, of course no journey is perfect, so here's what I struggled with and what's helped me push through. Time management. I am enrolled in school, finishing my associate's degree into college in psychology, and then moving on to dietetics, trauma-informed dietetics. Balancing this course with my content creation, work, and daily life was definitely tricky at first. And even though I finished this in 24 hours, I still sat down and did this back to back to back to back. I'm talking like while I was at home, while I was at work, while I was editing content, I was listening to videos. Like I put my life into this course. Did I have to? No. I had like 9 or 10 months to finish the course before it truly had to be done. Whoops, forgot to put into recording content focus mode. Anywho, one big win, there was a module on human anatomy. I have taken human anatomy before and I dropped the course within like 2 weeks. Popping on because I'm editing my video right now and look at this shit. It literally says human nightmare instead of human anatomy, so I must be onto something. Terrible. I hated it. And this with the videos and the textbook and the way it's all written out, it's not too terribly in depth like a graduate college course would be, but I would compare it to an undergrad class, and honestly it wasn't bad. Like they explained it in a very helpful and digestible way. No pun intended. I thought I'd fail that quiz, and it gave me a huge confidence boost when I passed it because I did truly pay attention and I knew material that was on that quiz. Alright, part 5. What's next and how I'll use this course. So, what's next for me after this course? I plan to incorporate what I've learned into future coaching packages on top of my yoga things that I plan to offer, digital wellness guides, and of course more content on this channel and my TikTok, and my Blue Sky. I think I still need to add that to my description, but I will do that for this video. Anyway, I'll be offering tools and tips rooted in nutrition education, but always through a mindful and realistic lens. Nobody has, eggs are scarce to find as it is right now with the bird flu and everything going around, so you kind of gotta do what you can with what you have, because a lot of people can't afford to spend $200-300 a week at a grocery store. I know I can't. I want to be a voice of compassion in a space that can feel really judgmental or confusing. I'm a little chubby, I'm not gonna lie. I have definitely lost weight since this channel started, but losing weight isn't technically my end all be all goal, because I know that looking a certain way isn't who I am as a person, how kind I am, how much I put into society. And that's not just working a normal job, that's like kindness at the grocery store, paying it forward at a drive-through, things like that. So while I do have an ideal image in my mind of how I used to look and wanting to get back to that, I'm not forcing myself to do that. Every single workout, every single meal, I'm thinking, oh my god, I have to go back to that. I have to drop 50 pounds. I don't necessarily have a goal in pounds, because I know that as I build muscle, that number on the scale could potentially go up, as well as with the amount of water I drink. Look at my cup. Anywho, shout out to Food City. So I do have 2 courses that I'm currently offering. One is one-on-one coaching. It's a 13, 14 week program. You get to choose if counting your macros and tracking your meals and everything is something that is comfortable for you to do, and if not, totally fine. We don't have to take pictures for, before and after. We don't have to take measurements to judge how small or big your thighs are getting during this. It's totally up to you how we do this. I want this to be in a positive light, in a look what you're doing, what can we add to your diet, how can we get in more protein in a realistic and appropriate way for you, your lifestyle, and your body. I'm just super excited to do this. Truthfully, I'm super excited. And the second one is a quick 7-week course. It's self-paced. You can certainly take more or less than 7 weeks, totally up to you. But I do have NeuroGoods Academy up and running. This is what that's through. So I have the NutriGoods 7-week self-guided, self-paced nutrition program. That's how much wood could woodchuck chuck, you feel? God, I'm the funniest guy I know. Anywho, I do have that available, and I will drop a link to that. I believe I have it set for right now at $75 for the course, so nothing big and crazy. I'm not gonna charge you guys, hundreds and thousands of dollars for something that I just started doing. I'm learning, you're learning, we can learn together. If you've been thinking about taking a course like this, whether for your career or just personal growth, I say go for it. Knowledge is empowering. The world is a revolving classroom, and it's never wasted. If you have any questions specifically about the ISSA Nutrition course or my experience, please drop them in the comments. I read the comments every day, make sure to reply to every single one of you, so I'm always happy to help. If this video inspired you or helped you in any ways, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Lots of good things in the vault for the month of May. My cookbook is coming out. I may or may not be designing some merch. Might come out with a supplement or 2. I don't know. We'll see. Supplement that I actually personally take with the NutriGoods brand on it. So stay tuned for that. Sign up for my newsletter. Just kidding. You don't have to. Anywho. Thanks for being here, and I will see you in the next one.